Hi, this is A. Wilson. That ain't even tells like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Topic I'm going to talk to you today about is Housewives Tea. And this Housewives Tea video, I'll be talking about um, one of the ladies from Real Housewives of Orange County, Gretchen, her husband is suing. Also, we're talking about Denise Richards' ex-husband getting arrested for domestic violence. Also, we're talking about a little bit about Atlanta, some pictures of Drew and some pictures of Drew at an event. Also, Portia, not Portia, Phaedra, and also Phaedra's being Kelli Ferrell's a lawyer because her husband is suing. Also, we're talking about some of the photos that the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City did for People Magazine last week. I thought I talked about the Housewives of Potomac's taglines, but I don't see it in the video, so I'll talk about it in this video. I'll put out the best ones I like. We put in the video a little bit about marriage and medicine, about how Heavenly has been demoted to friend up. Those are just some of the topics that I was talking about in this Housewives TV video. Like I said, they said Real Housewives of Orange County star Gretchen Mosini sued by her own lawyers for not paying him. First, I thought it was an ex-husband because they had been saying all over the internet that her ex-husband was suing Bravo and NBC Universal because they're painting him in a bad light and stuff like that. And so I think I did a little something on that on the previous video. But anyway, I didn't know her lawyers were suing her too. And then, like I said, Denise Richards' husband has been trying to get the judges and stuff to let him, to give him a more spousal support because he was talking about she made 250K off of OnlyFans, and then the money that she was making off of her movies and being on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, even though she's coming back now. And it's like he wants more and more money, but then last week they said he was arrested for domestic violence at the court. I guess he's supposed to show up for a thing and something happened. But anyway, even Denise Richards had said he had been I don't know if it's physical or mental or not, but she has claimed abuse too. And so that's that on that. And then I thought I had put this in the video last time, but I'm gonna put it in here this time uh, because 2 weeks before this, Portia came out talking about she dating two people and all that kind of stuff, and everybody looked at, oh, this just for a storyline, because we know Portia's not really like that and stuff like that and stuff like that, and so it was like like I said, it was like after K Michelle, I did this about K Michelle and Drew going back and forth. But then Drew was on her Instagram live about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and they were trying to ask her about this, and she said, "No, I just got on here for a little while to give y'all an update on what I'm doing." She said, "I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing a movie. I was doing a movie with Candy and Toy, but we finished that movie. I'm doing another movie, and I'm booked and busy. I'm supposed to be starting on my new album." And they kept trying to get her to talk about the K Michelle stuff. And like she said, "I'm booked and busy. I'm not here for the mess. I'm not here for the mess." And so she said, I just wanted to get on here for a little while and talk to y'all. So she hurried up and got off and stuff like that. And like I said, I said in the last video that I was going to put what Andy Cohen had said when they asked him about Wendy and what was going on. And let me bring that up right now. This is what he said. He said, Andy Cohen reacts to Wendy and Eddie Osaka's felony fraud arrest. I am really sad about this, and I'm a Wendy fan. I said, yeah, I figured you was a Wendy fan. A lot of people saying you was a Wendy fan and stuff like that. And then, they also asked Sweet Tea. She was on Instagram. They also asked Sweet Tea what she said, and stuff like that. And so I kind of wrote it down. And so I kind of wrote down from the from the audio because some people were playing the audio, and like I said in my last two videos, last time I played the audio, I got a strike on one of my videos, and I think it was a Normani video when I did a music video. Anyway, he was say, anyway, she was saying, well, she felt that Nicka was that Nicka was that Nicka was treated unfairly on the show and stuff like that. And then a lot of people saying, yeah, calling Sweet Tea reject, talking about, yeah, all the rejects are coming out. I'm looking at when Mia said what she had to say and Jacqueline said what she had to say from Potomac, nobody called them rejects, but it's like when Sweet Tea say something, it's like everybody being a big uproar. And like I said, she didn't say nothing negative about Wendy or anything like that. It's just these Wendy fans was just so crazy and stuff. And I got mad because I was watching I was watching Carlos King, and I was Carlos King, and Dustin was saying something, yeah, Sweet Tea gonna come out and say something. And then I'm looking at Claudia just reverberated everything that Sweet Tea said, but when Claudia said it was like it was nothing. And so Sweet Tea was just saying that that she can relate to Nicka because she felt Nicka was treated unfairly on the show, just like she was. And then she said, and then so I asked her, was she vindicated? Do you think Nicka was vindicated? She said she wouldn't say vindicated, but she was saying you better watch how you treat people and do stuff because it might come back to you. When it come back, you might be karma. Or she wishing bad luck. People say, oh, she wishing bad luck on Wendy. No, she's not wishing bad luck on Wendy and stuff like that. And then she also said that when your stuff come back to you, she used the word karma. She said when the karma come back to you, you just get out of the way and let go and do what you gotta do. Oh, why she breaking religion and why she breaking religion and all that? And I'm looking at all y'all people, especially being beautifully black, being beautifully honest. I was saying, I was saying when she what do God have to do with this? Why is what you putting that up in there? I don't know about you people that doing in religion and stuff. That has nothing to do with that. And I'm looking at maybe you may not read no Bible because you say you live over in Nigeria. I say, but everything Sweet Tea said, you could reference it to the Bible. I say, so I don't know what being beautiful was talking about, being love was talking about. And so I was saying it was like this hatred for this girl, and she didn't say nothing mean. I say nobody had that hatred for Mia when Mia said she had 4 degrees and she thought 4 degrees was supposed to be smarter than that. And then also Ashley said her little stuff about a Zen and all that stuff. Nobody, there was no kind of big uproar except for when Sweet Tea said what she said, and she was right. They treated what you call, and then Wendy fans, Nicka wasn't treated bad. Yes, Nicka was treated bad because Wendy didn't want Nicka on there because Nicka really had the money that Wendy was saying that she had, and we see now that she really didn't have it. And then also, Wendy's mama got involved, talking about if Nicka keep on messing with her daughter, she gonna put voodoo on her spirits and all that kind of stuff. And some people do look at voodoo as a religion, which I don't. But anyway, she was treated a little bit unfairly on that show, and you can't change the narrative. Wendy fans and all this kind of stuff. When you did that, and so and so it was like I didn't see nothing wrong with Sweet Tea said, and she was saying she been preaching that. Ever the last 2 years she been on there, that a whole lot of them people on these reality shows are faking and shaking, and some of them do really have good jobs, but they get addicted to the fame. And she's right about that. They get addicted to the fame, and they'll do anything to keep themselves to keep themselves what you call on these shows and make up all kind of fake storylines like Phaedra and Portia doing this year, especially Portia. And it's like, yeah, y'all missed that big viral check when y'all weren't on there, but now that y'all on there and stuff like that, so I said I didn't see nothing that Sweet Tea said wrong. It was just a lot of, to me, it was just a lot of misplaced anger toward Sweet Tea just for nothing because some people don't like Sweet Tea because of Greg. And like I said in the previous video, I look at them as two different individuals, and that's why I can kind of differentiate that because she has her own personality, he has his own personality. But anyway, on another subject, like I said, Kelli Ferrell husband has been saying that he gonna sue Kelli Ferrell and NBC Universal for depicting him in the wrong way and believing Kelly lies. And then last week, they said that Phaedra was representing Kelly in a lawsuit against her husband. A lot of people saying that Phaedra is gonna make the girl lose case, make the girl lose case, and then they talking about what she did background. Then it was a few people in the comments. I think I got that from the neighborhood talk shade room. But anyway, some people saying, she got that chaotic guy, got the chaotic guy with a couple of people saying that. And I remember that Drew said that she did that chaotic guy wrote a couple of songs on her last album, and he was on Love and Hip Hop. And so I was saying, well, give Phaedra a chance. And then Phaedra came out with the pictures. I guess she was going to her son's graduation or prom, whatever, and she had her sons with her too. But I got the picture where she was taking. It was like a green business suit she had on, looked real good and stuff like that. And then last week they also I think it was last week before last, they also did a People magazine thing with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and they had Mary and all the girls being like they was like in the like the Desperate Housewives back in the day, and they all had their suits on, bathing suits on and stuff except for Mary. But even though Mary had a pretty dress on, Mary fit in real good with them. And Mary had said in a little small interview with them, they said, "Oh, Mary, why did you decide to come back to Salt Lake City? You know, after stuff you happened." She said, "Well, I have to thank Mary for this." She said, Mary kept my name out there. She kept talking about me, kept my name out there. And so she even called me every now and blue moon and tell me about the show and stuff like that. And she said, I appreciate Heather when she was on Watch What Happens Live. And I watched her live when she was at the reunion, and when Andy asked her, did they need me on the show? And Heather said, yeah, they need me on the show, and I was very grateful for Heather and Meredith. I was saying, yeah, Heather and Meredith knew that show was gonna sink and tank without her, because like I said, I tried to watch it. I tried to watch it a couple of times, but like I said, the only reason why I was watching because they had Monica on there. When Monica left, that show was kind of going down until Mary came back because Angie couldn't hold that show all by herself, and stuff like that. So and Angie was on the show, but Monica was on the show, but Monica was the breakout star. But if they hadn't turned against Monica, yeah, I think Monica would have been the centerpiece instead of Angie. But anyway, now I hope they decide to bring Monica back in a certain capacity on that show as a friend of or something, because Monica really was a good addition to that show. Anyway, like I said, I thought I did these Potomac things, but like I said, the best one I liked was Kieanna. Yeah, it was Kieanna, Stacy, and I think Tia, I'm not for sure. But anyway, the ones that I liked, I'll put in the video, even though I thought I did in the last video. I didn't like Ashley too much. Giselle was okay and stuff. So like I said, those were the main three that I liked and stuff like that. And then um, on another note, Wendy came out last weekend or weekend before that talking about she thanked her fans and friends for supporting her and believing in her, and God's gonna bring her through this and all that kind of stuff. And so I was saying, huh? I was saying people are just going crazy over sweet tea time, including God as a hero, Wendy. And so I wrote on my Instagram thing when I saw it, because like I said, I got it from reality TV entertainment. And so when she said that, I said, nah. I said, you talking about God helping you, protecting you? Then I said, nah. I said, he ain't pleased with you, Wendy. I said, because he said, don't use his name in vain and don't, thou should not steal. And then I turned around and watched Carlos King, I think that Monday night. Here come Claudia. And I know ATL Lenny has been saying it for months and years that Claudia go on the internet trolling people. And I didn't believe it at first, but when she said that, I said, yeah. She strictly said it. She didn't say all what I said, but she spammed and she said, yeah, they said thou should not steal too. You're gonna use the Bible reference. I'm looking at. You and Dustin are a bunch of hypocrites. Y'all try to criticize and malign Sweet Tea so bad when Sweet Tea said that, mentioned the word about God and love. But when it came to Wendy and all these other people, oh y'all taking up for them. That's why I said a lot of these people have this what they call it, mistaken outrage and all this stuff. And it's just like it's not really what it's supposed to be. And then right, this the last thing, the last show. Then after that, Married to Medicine came out with their trailer, and also they looked. I'll do the cover and the trailer in the next video. But then a lot of people were looking at where's Heavenly, where's Heavenly. I really didn't pay too much attention to Heavenly because I seen the kind of a kind of heavy set woman on the thing, and I thought it was Heavenly, but they said that was a new lady, Brandon. And so when I kind of zoomed it up, I said, yeah, where's Heavenly? And so there was everybody was wondering, they say Heavenly got demoted. And then she came behind and everybody saying, yeah, because she run up our budget. And then somebody politely said on Instagram, said, no, it's not because she run Bravo. He said, don't you know when Bravo is secretly trying to get rid of you, they'll use that you running for office as a clue because you're supposed to reach your contract. And I was saying, yeah, I said, 'cause when she got on when she got on Jamal Brian's podcast, she told me it took them 8 weeks to give her her contract because they were trying to muddle over what to do about the political stuff. They weren't trying to muddle over what they could do about my political stuff. They were trying to make sure that if they did demote her, Kelly wouldn't be able to sue them. We already know what Bravo, and that's a big corporation. They got about 50 lawyers working for them. So they already knew and stuff like that. That's all I have for this Housewives Tea video. This is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells like a CIA is. I am out.